after 4.5 years and 150,000 miles, I think it's time for me to let you guys know my 8 favorite OEM features on my 2014 Mazda 6 GT. So we are going to get right into it. Coming in at number 8 is going to be a feature that I only use for a few months out the year, but when I use it and when I need it, it comes in clutch, and that's going to be the heated seats. In 2014, only the front seats are heated, and you have 3 options for both front seats. You have, I guess, basically high, medium, and low. And it takes them about 3-4 minutes to warm up. Once they get there, they're good to go. The only thing is that I think after 45 minutes or so, the seats automatically turn off. So if you live in an area where it's cold, it is cold, having your buns nice and warm is a plus. Coming in at number 7 is a feature that you don't use that often, but when you do use it and when you need it, it comes in clutch. And that is going to be the memory seats. We all have that time when you go for a car service or somebody else drives your car. They never can seem to get the seat back where it needs to be, or they just leave it exactly where they left it. And then you have to spend whatever X amount of time getting it back in that perfect position just for you. The memory seats come in clutch. No matter who drives it, boop. In my case, I hit the number 1. The seat goes back to its predetermined spot, back in that perfect position. So that's definitely a feature you don't use often, but when you do. Number 6 is something where I didn't realize my car had this feature until one night I was going around a sharp curve at about 10 miles per hour, and I saw my headlights move with my steering wheels. The adaptive front lighting. If you never experienced it, you won't miss it. But once you have experienced it, it is so nice to have, especially when you are turning around a curve at a slow rate of speed and those headlights move where you're turning, and it lights up that little bit of extra area that otherwise wouldn't be lit up. So not only does it move left and right with the steering wheel, it also moves up and down. So if some weight was to be added in the back of the car, let's say 2 well-fed passengers in the back seat, and it kind of squats the back down a little bit, normally it would blind your oncoming drivers. But on the GT with the adaptive headlights, it will actually automatically adjust it and keep it at the same level. So it's not really something where it always benefits the driver, but it also benefits other drivers on the road. Number 5 on my list is going to be the dual climate control. Now this comes in handy, especially in my case with my wife, where I need to be freezing cold at all times, and she needs to be not freezing cold, warm for the most part, or hot, especially on road trips. If I'm driving, car needs to be cold. The driver needs to be the most comfortable. But with the dual climate control, the passenger can also be comfortable. So I can have it 60 degrees on my side, and she can have it 75 degrees on her side, and the car can just figure it out. That way I'm not hot, or it's really hot, and she's not really cold. So the dual climate control definitely helps a lot, especially on road trips. Number 4 is a feature where here in North Carolina, you only use it for about 3 months out of the year. But when you need it, you need it. I didn't know it was there until one day I was messing around with it, and I was like, this is very neat. And that is going to be the Vanity mirrors extenders. I don't know what they're called, but that's what I'm calling them. And they help to block that little extra light, that little extra sun that glares in between the vanity mirror and your rearview mirror. And believe it or not, in a lot of instances, especially in the morning and in the evening in North Carolina, around this time of year, which is like the beginning of October to about Thanksgiving, where the sun is just glaring dead in your face in the highway and everybody wants to slam on brakes and lose their minds, that little bit extra, that little 2 inches of vanity mirror extension makes all the difference to keep the sun out of your eyes. So I don't know if that's an option on all trim levels, but if you need to cover up that little gap between the vanity mirror and your rearview mirror, check it out on your car, use it, thank me later. Number 3 on my list, when I first got this car, was one of my favorite things to use, especially on back country roads where it was nice and windy, and that is going to be the paddle shifters. The paddle shifters are so much fun when you do not want to rely on the automatic transmission to shift for you. These paddle shifters are so much fun. You can't have too much more fun in this car besides using the paddle shifters. And the one thing I like about this car with the paddle shifters is that you don't have to put the car in manual mode. You can just start using the paddle shifters. You can be driving, and if you want to downshift twice or once, bump, downshift, go. Now, if it's not in manual mode, it will automatically put the car back in drive after you stay in the same gear for a while. But that's not a bad thing either. So yeah, the paddle shifters are fun. And then you add the paddle shifters extensions to it, makes it that much better. My number 2 feature on this car, and it's a very simple one, and that is the auto lock feature. Basically, you get out the car, you close the door. I believe as long as your key fob is within like 5 feet of the car, you will get 1 beep to confirm, hey, I'm about to lock. And then when you walk away, you'll get a 2nd beep saying, I'm locked. And then once you walk away, you get the 2nd beep, and then the car is locked. That's all it is to it. You don't have to worry about locking your door, or the case may be. As long as you close the door and you hit that first initial beep, you're good to go. That auto lock feature is on the money. And my number 1 feature, the reason why I went hunting for a GT with both tech packages, my number 1 feature for this car, like I said, I put 150,000 miles on this car in 4.5 years. My number 1 feature is the Mazda radar cruise control. You set your speed, you set the distance that you want to keep between you and the potential car in front of you, and you let the car do the rest. If you have it set on a theoretical speed of 80 miles per hour and you approach a car that's going slower than you, the radar cruise control will automatically slow you down, and it will keep whatever distance between that car. So if you're running 80 and a car in front of you is running 60 and you run up on that car, it is going to keep the predetermined space between you and that car running 60, so your car automatically slows down. And most of the time, it's so smooth that you don't even realize that the car has slowed down. Now, if that car gets out of the way, or if you get out of the way, or if you go around that car, then it will speed you up back to that predetermined speed until the next car comes in front of you. That on road trips is the best thing. It is the best thing. And the MRCC also maintains your speed. So if you're going uphill, it maintains your speed. If you start going downhill, it maintains your speed. It does not coast going down hills. So if you're on a long road trip and you want to keep a set speed or a maximum of a set speed, so you don't have to worry about officers and getting tickets, or if you just want to just be on the highway and just chill, the MRCC, the Mazda radar cruise control, is the best for that. And if I didn't have radar cruise control, I would probably go jump off a cliff. Those are my top 8 features that I love, adore, and cherish from 4.5 years and 150,000 miles of ownership of my 2014 Mazda 6 GT with both tech packages. If you like this video, please like the video. Just don't like it because you watch it. I need you to hit that thumbs up. I need you to subscribe. And then in a later video, I'm going to go over things that I don't like about the car, because the car is not perfect. The community is not perfect. The aftermarket support is not perfect. And I'm going to talk about my favorite mods that I've done to the car as well, amongst other things. Because a lot of things has occurred over 4.5 years and 150,000 miles. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the notification bell if you want to. I don't care. Let me know what features is your favorite features in your car. If you don't have a Mazda 6, I hope this helps you out. Maybe I should make a video about the different trim levels and what options you can get on the trim levels, at least in the US, because it's complicated once you get overseas, because their trim levels is a whole lot different. But until next time, I will see you all later. Peace.